This
Mike's hot.
on 98.7 ESPN.
Lightning round, Carlin. That's right. Wednesday, 800-919-3776 on Twitter at Chris Carlin. Over on Instagram, that guy Carlin. Video stream up and running. 98.7 ESPN's Twitter handle as well as ESPN New York's Facebook page. Stunning, shocking, mind-blowing. Aaron Judge is not in the lineup tonight for the Yankees. So why is that, Aaron Boone?
Was sore yesterday during the game, kind of in his side, and then after the game was sore. So just with the off day tomorrow, just something trying to stay ahead of and don't want to push through anything right now.
When you say sore in his side, what side exactly, what happened to lead to that soreness?
I think it's just been the general wear and tear of the first several days, DH in one day, a lot of swings. So yeah, just that.
And by side, do you mean oblique?
No, I think it's just, as I would say, general soreness, I guess, in the side.
General soreness. Wear and tear of the first 5 days of the season. We have reached ludicrous levels when it comes to the health and this discussion thereof of Aaron Judge. Are you kidding? I get it. I'm sure it's got to be frustrating for him. That's fine. I get it. He wants to compete. That's fine. When you have a player of this magnitude and you continuously cannot get him on the field, frustration does not begin to cover it for the fan base and for the team. What happened to Eric Cressy and all the yoga that was going to happen? That was going to help the fact that he was flexible enough with all of his girth, the largeness of him at 6'10", 275 pounds or whatever he is. What happened to the play? Maybe it's time to hit TB12. This is just getting absurd. And frankly, it's not anything that shouldn't have been seen a while ago. Here's a news flash for you. Injury prone means that you are prone to getting hurt. Aaron Judge is injury prone. So, hence, therefore, he is likely to get hurt again and again and again and again and again. I actually had somebody point out to me, well, it wasn't until 2018 with a broken wrist when he got hit by a pitch. Out is out, okay? Whether or not it's his fault, he's not out there. So he broke a wrist then. What's happened since? Every single soft tissue injury that you could possibly have. And I'm sorry, we are at the point where you don't get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to this particular player. When it comes to him and Giancarlo Stanton, who are basically two dolls out there. Two very fragile dolls out there that if you hold them, you might break them. That's what they have become. And it's remarkably absurd that we have gotten to this level with this player. And fans have started to turn. This was something you saw in 2019, 2020. If you didn't finally come around until now, I mean, I guess, you wanted to be optimistic about the situation, but truthfully, this shouldn't be any surprise. And I got news for you. I doubt he's going to play very much this coming weekend in Tampa when you factor in that the turf down there is very, very hard. So that will be another excuse for him not to play. Now we just want to wait till we get off the turf and, Aaron Judge cannot be a Yankee long-term, and it has nothing to do with his ability on the field. It has to do with the fact that he is never on the field enough. This is it. You cannot You cannot, under any circumstances, build around this player for the future. You can't do it. That's one. Number two, we shift right over to Sam Darnold and the change made yesterday with the trade. Look, I was curious more than anything else for Sam about the timing, why it wasn't earlier or frankly later. I don't think anything was dramatically going to change with a quarterback being available for the Carolina Panthers, for the Denver Broncos, for the Atlanta Falcons, if they were wanting to trade up to the number 2 spot, specifically in the case of the Falcons. The Jets have locked in on their guy, presumably Zach Wilson. That's fine. And Sam Darnold, I don't think, was ever going to fetch what everybody was thinking, that somehow you were going to get a first-round pick for Sam Darnold. I never thought that was true. And I think the fact of getting 3 picks overall, even though the one this year is only a 6th, and you got to wait till next year for the 2nd and the 4th, hey, it's still pretty good. And I don't think the Panthers are all of a sudden going to be world beaters next season. Maybe they'll take that next step and it'll be middle of the first round, or middle of the round, I should say. Still pretty good. So I look at all of that, and I think they did pretty well. Could they have done better? Well, only in this sense. I think the longer that you held on to Sam leading up to the draft, the more possible intrigue was left. Just to up offers around, not even necessarily him, but around what the 2nd overall pick would have looked like. Now, you guys know, I feel like my first choice would have been to trade back, to load up, and to put myself in a position to get as many good young players as I can over the next 2 to 3 drafts. And they're already in excellent position there. They are. They have 10 picks now in the first 3 rounds of the next 2 drafts. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Could have been even more. Think about it. You could have had 3 first-round picks next year. You could have had 2 the year after. You could have continued to load up. But if they weren't blown away and they honestly believe that this is the guy, then you have to do it. I just would have thought they would have left a little more intrigue to it. And that, to me, means waiting another couple of weeks at least on trading Sam away just to see what the offers were going to be for that 2nd overall pick. If it wasn't there, if what you wanted wasn't there in return, then you move on. And they felt like clearly it wasn't going to change in the coming weeks, and it wasn't going to change to their satisfaction in order to give up Zach Wilson. Okay, so let's see what it is now. Myself, I think Zach Wilson has a ton of ability. I am a little skeptical from his ability to stay healthy, which we have seen be a problem before, earlier last year in his career, 2019. And I'm a little skeptical when it comes to the competition he faced last year, and I'm a little skeptical with Zach Wilson coming to New York and being able to handle New York. Because you can be anybody, okay? You can be a star on the biggest level in college football. We all agree that this is different. This is different. And you're coming from 1 year of being a star in Provo, Utah, to New York City. Now, Sam did it. He was at USC, and USC got an awful lot of attention. They got an awful lot of attention. Again, not to this level. Not to this level. So I have questions, but I would have rather have seen them either make the move with Sam earlier, if they could have gotten more, or later, if they could have at least gotten more intrigue out of it, gotten more of a mystery factor for other teams out of it. 800-919-3776. Let's go. Calls early, often, and often. Simon in New Haven starts us off. Simon, what do you got, brother?
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, Simon.
I wanted to make some comments about Aaron Judge. I know they're going to sound corny, but I like Aaron Judge. I call him a gift from God because that's what he is. But I rather think he's better off DHing. I mean, let me tell you why. I mean, I know he's still in the.
What are you doing with
life,
Giancarlo Stanton?
Well, maybe what you could do is maybe you could play Stanton a couple days a week in left field and have platoon and right with Clint Frazier and Gardner.
It's pretty clear that's not going to work.
We have to keep Judge, healthy and stuff. I mean, what's wrong with him DHing a little
well,
bit?
he did DH the other night, and he's still out. So that's number one. Number two,
I mean,
Stanton's not going to. Stanton can't play the outfield anymore. That's very clear. The Yankees gave it a shot here in the spring, and they didn't feel great about it.
I mean, it's not like he was saying, he's a very good outfielder. He is. But, you have to do something here. I mean, you have to change the record once in a while.
Hey, they're trying, Simon. They're trying. Thanks for the call. Namaste. They're doing all the yoga they can. Maybe it's time to try TB12. Maybe it's time to try something else. PX90, is that still a thing? I don't know. Everybody's got these online workouts, Body by JoJo, whatever it is. Got to try something. Got to stay flexible. 800-919-3776. Lightning round, as many as we can get to before the Knicks and the Celtics. Top of the hour.
It's Carlin.
Look at the size of that boy's head. It's a virtual planetoid. Has its own weather system. And that boy's head's like Sputnik. Heed! Move! No!
On 98.7 ESPN.
Stay up all night.
You're down, Chris. We have a live read coming up.
Catskills is open 24 hours. Enjoy live blackjack, roulette, baccarat, and craps, or place your bets on your favorite teams at Sportsbook 360. End the night in your luxurious all-suite hotel room. Resorts World Casinos. We are New York. Resorts World Catskills. Only 90 minutes from.
Cool. 10 seconds.
So close. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Must be 21 or over to get.
Coming in here.
Hey, one of the best things about golf is a gimme. It's a sure thing. So if you want to start betting on golf, FanDuel Sportsbook has a gimme just for you. New users can get 20-1 odds on Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, or Jordan Spieth just to make the cut at the Masters. That's right. Take your pick. You're going to get 20-1 odds on 3 of the world's best golfers just to make the cut. I mean, think about that. These are guys who are favored to win the tournament, and this is only to get to play on the weekend. That's nuts. You can win $100 on a $5 bet. There isn't much more gimme than that. And when you do win, FanDuel will pay you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. The world's best golfers tee off in Augusta, April 8th through the 11th. And there are even more ways to win with America's #1 sportsbook. Just create your account using promo code Carlin to get 20-1 odds. That's promo code Carlin. Only on FanDuel Sportsbook. Got to be 21 and older, present in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. $10 first deposit required. $100 max bonus. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, New York City. Switch.
You're down, Chris.
Good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off,
What's up, everybody on the stream?
And you can contact your local agent for personalized
What's
assistance.
going on?
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even jousting. And it's not. Just ask my cousin Ernie.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might cause you to feel rich, which might lead you to hire a butler. Do you really need a butler?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app.
I'm going to try to roll through, and I may not take
Or add
Spike.
a new driver, and they offer discounts to military and
We'll see.
employees.
But after you switch, you'll be so happy that you celebrate by
Richard
doing
Miller, what's up,
something
brother? How you
happen.
doing, AJ?
Nobody
I don't
does
think
the
he's hurt.
random
Well, AJ,
thing.
like, if you don't think he's hurt, what is it? And I don't think they're just sitting him out to sit him out.
It's hard to beat that.
Hey, it's Dylan Betances throwing the ball all over the yard. That's good to see. Daniel Mercado Jets will be upset they didn't take Fields. I like Fields a lot. I do.
The vaccines are safe,
and Oscar Robles asking about Fields. I think Fields has got a lot of ability.
Get vaccinated by calling 833-NYS-4VAX. That's the
Matanzas just hit. Is that Roman Quinn trying to bunt? He drilled him in the foot. I mean, geez.
State Health Department. Let's vaccinate New York.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile, and you could save up to 40%.
Minute 30.
G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to spectrummobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Data usage limits vary by carrier. Spectrum internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
At Eddie Sings tasted Popeye's new Cajun flounder sandwich and found his muse.
Let me eat it with delight. Let me know about all the tartar sauce and pickles. I love you. I want you. I need you.
At Eddie Sings from Chicago, Illinois on Tuesday, March 3rd. Love that Cajun flounder fish sandwich from Popeye's. Get our delicious new Cajun flounder sandwich today. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants.
Fresh bread in the morning, at lunch, at dinner. Fresh Italian bread, natural, no preservatives, family-baked Calandra's bread. Can't you smell it? From their bakery to your local supermarket. CALANDRAS, bakery.com for a store.
15 seconds.
Okay.
Petty thieves love tax forms with personal info needed to steal your identity. That's why LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com. Promo code RISK.
Let's hit it. 800-919-3776. You can also post your comments on the video stream at 98.7 ESPN New York's Twitter handle and on ESPN New York's Facebook page. Let's roll. Nathan in Queens up next. Nathan, what do you got, dude?
How are you? How's it going, bud? Love the show.
Thank you. Love you.
Thank you, man. I just wanted to comment, talk about the Jets. They got a new head coach in Robert Saleh. They wanted to go in a different direction. I know you said you wanted to see the intrigue and holding on to Sam possibly, but let's commend them for doing something right. They made a decision. They like Zach Wilson. They got 3 picks, which people didn't think they would get. They got a boatload of picks coming in. You got to be excited. That's my take. Talk to me.
Jets are in the driver's seat right now, okay? And they have been in this draft for some time. Thanks for the call, Nathan. They've had an opportunity here to really establish what the market's going to be on everything inside this draft. And what I mean by that is what the market would be for the second overall pick. They've had all kinds of options. They've obviously made their decision. And I love where they are. I love the fact that they have 10 picks in the first 3 rounds over the next 2 drafts. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. And that's how you get your football team better in a shorter period of time and do it younger and relatively cheaper. Eddie in Rockland is next on 98.7 ESPN. Eddie, what do you got for me tonight, bud?
Hey, Big Chris. I'm happy that Sam's in Carolina now with Rule. The Jets passed on Rule. But my problem with the trade is the 4th and 6th. I would have not taken those 2 picks and asked for either a player off the team to help the new quarterback or swap my low 3rd for Carolina's high 3rd to get some kind of help this year for the quarterback.
But Carolina was, listen, if you look at the construct of the trade, Carolina did not want to give up very much this year. That's the point. That's why the 2 higher picks are next year.
Right, but they would have swapped thirds.
Not this year. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. Why would Carolina do that? You mean, swap and pick up the Jets' 3rd or the Seahawks' 3rd round pick through the Jets? We don't know that they would have done that.
Right. And as far as the Panthers versus the Jets this year, Panthers 41, Jets 13.
That's the first Panthers-Jets forecasted score I have had. Thanks, Eddie. Anthony, Dix Hills next, 98.7 ESPN. Tony!
Hey, Carlin, congrats on the half-hour upgrade. I love the show and wish you luck going forward with the extra half hour.
Appreciate that, dude. How you doing?
So I'm curious. I know you had said, and I've heard this a bunch, about the idea that the Jets should have listened to more options of what they could get for the two, and I get that, and I understand that, but I'm sure they did, and I feel like if they feel like they're certain that this is the quarterback that they want, and we don't know if it is or not, and we don't even know that it's Zach Wilson. I agree with you. I think it's Zach Wilson as well, but you know, the thing is with the Jets, they gotten rid of all their leaks, right? So we don't even know that it's Zach Wilson. Maybe it's Fields that they love. Maybe it's Mac Jones that they love. I agree. I think it's Zach Wilson. But why do you feel like they should have left that intrigue? And, you know, I think they did the right thing by Sam. I think that they really legitimately wanted to do the right thing by the guy. You know, they sent him on to a team and let him progress in Carolina. And I feel like, hey, they know who they love at number two, and why should they keep listening to people make other offers to keep the intrigue of the draft better?
Well, I don't knock the approach, and I certainly don't knock them for thinking of Sam's best interests, and thanks for the call. And Joe is 100% right. Anybody who suggested the idea of keeping Sam and keeping Zach Wilson, that's absolutely absurd. That doesn't serve anybody well. It doesn't serve Sam well in trying to get his career back on track. It doesn't serve Zach Wilson well in having to answer questions if he's not playing well. And it doesn't serve the head coach well for having to deal with a quarterback controversy early. That's not going to work. Now, having said all of that, I think that if you hold on to Sam just a little bit longer, make people wonder just a little bit more what you might do, you never know if you would get that offer that might be what you were really looking for. Now, look, if they're locked in on him, they're locked in on him. He's their guy. You roll with it. You roll with it. My only question would have been, why now? Why a good 3 weeks away from the draft? That's interesting to me. Danny in Long Island is next. Danny, what's cooking?
Good afternoon, Carlin. You started to say with a little Rolling Stones. You think Keith Richards ever took a day off for wear and tear? He looks like one giant definition of wear and tear.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Richards used to go through full blood transfusions on tour, so let's not make him the pinnacle of health.
Just to show up. Why do we wear and tear? Take a look at the Mets bullpen. That's going to be worn and torn.
Boy, Dellin Betances is throwing it all over South Philly right now.
I had to do an errand, so I'm out. Listen, the one thing I can't stand is when you go into a season with a predetermined number of games. We're going to give a guy, a player, a day off. No, yeah. Wait a second. Let's get to a month of the season. A guy could have a day off and the next day turn his ankle, be out a week. So then you're down from 150 down to 140. And with the COVID, the Yankees could play a game tonight, and the next whole series could be wiped out. We don't know what's going on. We don't know how many games we're going to get in. Look what happened to the Mets. So give nobody a day off, because tomorrow may always be a day off in the present situation. This is ridiculous. Embarrassing.
Listen, what's happening right now, Danny, has nothing to be surprised about. Thanks for the call. As far as days off early in the season, it's a different time. It's a different time. Athletes are treated differently with their bodies because their bodies, having been babied through all of the work through the years, are not built for as much durability. I mean, that's just very clear. It's more of the aberration now than the rule. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And when you have guys that are the size of Stanton and Judge, it's going to happen more and more and more. Hector in New Jersey is next. Hector, what's going on?
Hey, Carlin, always love your show, man. Always love your show. Just wanted to say that before somebody said that we can put Judge at DH. If you listen to Boone, he said that the reason he saw is because of the extra swings, because he was a DH. Like, what are we going to do with him?
I mean, none of it matters. No, honestly, none of it matters. You're in a situation now where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I mean, you know, Ryan Hurley just texted me. How about some Tybo with Billy Blanks? Maybe we can get him out of the commercial. You should do some of that. You know, please. And I knew when they were rolling that out this offseason and they're talking about Eric Cressy and the miracle worker that he is and everything that they're doing to make sure that he stays healthy this year, that he and Stanton with the yoga and all that. I knew it was all crap. It's all crap. Honestly, these two guys are just absolutely injury prone. That's all there is to it.
TB12 is the answer.
Maybe so.
TB12.
Pliability. Thanks for the call, Hector. Spike, Jersey. Spike, what's going on? We got less than a minute.
I only need 40 seconds. Good to hear you. We missed you in our house today, not hearing you this week. So I saw Dave Winfield. Michael alluded to it, a big 6'6", and the body difference. I guess it's 50 years already. I saw him play University of Minnesota. He played with Jim Brewer and those guys, and he was skinny. He was a skinny 6'6", maybe 215, 220. And I think the year after he left, Tony Dungy was the point guard. Weird. But the body of Frank Howard and the body of Dave Winfield are so much different than Stanton. You know, height-wise, they're all around the same area, but the bulk on the body lends itself. It's just wild that this guy's out after 5 games.
Listen,
cooking there. Don't you agree?
He is fragile, as they say, Spike. Thanks for the call. You can't possibly rely on him moving forward, and this is why when you had the opportunity last offseason, meaning before 2020, before 2019, I would have looked at getting out on him. Honestly, you people laughed at me when I suggested Max Scherzer a couple of years ago. And I know Scherzer isn't off to a great start, but I mean, that's one start. Laughed at me. He's gone and won a World Series since. Please. You cannot rely on him. You can't. And he can't be part of the future. That does it for me. Knicks Celtics next. Pregame. That's right. Pat O'Keefe in just a moment. Carlin out. Stay handsome.
The elections are coming.
You were down, sir. Wish we had more time, but we'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
Appreciate